All right, 36, three strikes law. So this says, look, if your third strike's a nonviolent offense, you don't get the life sentence. Instead, you get double the sentence you would normally get for whatever crime it is you did. And it allows some resentencing of people who are in prison for a third strike that was nonviolent, unless if any of their crimes was rape, murder, or child molestation, they can't get out of the life sentence. So the big yes argument is that it replaces life with double normal sentence for nonviolent third strikes. It makes room in prison for violent criminals. As you all know, the courts are ordering us to release prisoners out of the prison system because we don't have enough room. And so they're basically arguing some of these three strikers who basically shoplifted a pack of cigarettes as their third strike probably aren't our top priority to keep in prison. It saves about $100 million a year. And Los Angeles basically adopted this approach because it's always up to the district attorney whether an offense is a third strike or not. They have discretion on that. It's not up to the judge or jury to say it's a third strike. And the district attorney in Los Angeles has for many years said, this is how we're going to do it. If it's nonviolent third offense, we're not going to charge them with a third strike. And they argue that it's worked well in Los Angeles. The key no argument is, look, these people, the whole reason we did three strikes was career criminals. People who, if your third strike, it's your third time going to prison. So you're pretty much demonstrating that prisons, putting you in prison and then letting you out isn't going to keep you from doing crime again. So we're going to put you in and not let you out. That's the only way we can actually keep you from doing crime again. And whether that third offense was nonviolent or not has nothing to do with whether they're a career criminal or not. Three strikes has dramatically reduced crime in California. Crime's fallen in the whole United States in the last decade. It's fallen more in California than most other states. They believe attributable to three strikes. And it doesn't take into account, it saves money in terms of prison costs, but what about the crimes that some of these people who do eventually get released commit and the costs of those crimes? Now they do the double sentence, so it's not like they just get let free, but eventually they do get out because it's not life, and some of them will do crime, and there's costs associated with that. So I think, it does still punish repeat offenders with the double sentence. So, I don't know. There's this not really an evidence-based question here. Does what will work, will double the normal sentence for the third crime work as well as life in prison for being a disincentive to do crime? Life sentences do cost a lot, especially that health care in the last 10, 15 years someone's in prison. It's just outrageously expensive. But it's not obvious maybe that if they're not in the prison system that we save a lot on those healthcare costs if they're still part of the Medicare system, Medicaid system. And I do think, it's sort of a judgment call, I think, on everybody's part on what they think about justice and punishment. I do think that our big problem in California is our recidivism rate. We have one of the highest recidivism rates in the nation. Why is it that Florida, Texas, Virginia, Illinois, Iowa have half the recidivism rate we do? We don't have fundamentally different people in California. We have a little bit different people, but not, it's the system, okay? Their prison systems do some things differently that result in fewer people coming back to prison. Our prison system does things that encourage people to come back to prison somehow. That's all there is to it. And maybe if we put a little money and effort into figuring that out, and I've actually, one of my personal favorite areas of research is this. I love doing research on how to reduce recidivism because it's just such a fascinating area, and I've been to a lot of prisons in my research, which is not quite so fascinating. Well, it is fascinating, but it's not fun. And it's just obvious to me that we are investing in California in a system that guarantees that almost everybody we lock up that's not locked up for life will go back to crime. So that's our problem. Not that we're not giving enough people life, but that we have no way to let people out that gives us any belief that they won't go back to crime. Other states can do that. Florida, it's only like 30%. They're relatively 2/3 of the people they let out don't go back to crime. Wow. What a concept, Or they don't get caught. But there's no systematic reason to believe that's true. Their arrest rates per capita are no lower than California's.
Yeah, Yeah, but today in California, the probation, they've eliminated probation, and it's
That's part of the problem.
you
Yep.
know, so they're not getting caught because they're not being watched.
We have no post-release, pre-release programs or supervision, and post-release is a joke in California. So, yeah.
It's interesting hearing two judges talk last week in opposition to this ballot initiative, because they stated they do have the right to bundle maybe earlier, lesser strikes, shoplifting, so they don't have to really make it the third strike. They have some flexibility to maybe take two minor offenses, squash them down to one, so then this became the second strike on
Right.
the individual. So I thought that was interesting. They do have that.
And the DAs can also do that. They have that discretion. And that's part of the yes argument, is that that's what Los Angeles has been doing, and they think it works better. So why not go statewide with it? I don't know, is LA really the model for everything? No, but maybe in this case.
They don't need this to do that, though. Or you're saying it's up to the local DA whether they do that or not.
Right. So there is some, you're right. No, you're right. They all do have discretion to do this now. The Kern County District Attorney could adopt this approach if he wanted to. So we don't have to have the law to do it.